So after years of speculation, conspiracy theories, and social media outrage, the U.S. Department of Justice has finally released a detailed memo on the Jeffrey Epstein case. And people are very confused about it. Now, according to the report, there's no so-called Epstein client list, no evidence of blackmail, and no new charges expected. So let me tell you everything in simple words. What the U.S. Department of Justice released, why it's so confusing, and why people are not ready to believe it. Well, as you know, Jeffrey Epstein was a financier and convicted sex offender whose life and death became the center of intense media scrutiny and public controversy due to his connections to powerful individuals and his involvement in a large-scale sex trafficking operation. But now, after a long time of 17 years, the U.S. Department of Justice has published a memo regarding the Jeffrey Epstein case. And in this memo, a lot of things are written that clearly left a lot of people completely shocked. And there are several reasons behind it. For example, first, I want to show you a clip of U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, where she was giving an interview to a news channel and claimed that Epstein's client list was sitting on her desk right now. Please watch.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
Now, the clip you just watched, in which Pam Bondi is claiming that she has a list of Epstein clients, well, her claim is not matching with the memo released by the U.S. administration. Here you can see, in the third paragraph of this memo, it is written that this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There is also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Also, it is written that we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Now, this is something that is confusing altogether. On social media, people are absolutely outraged about it. They're not ready to accept it. Many are furious, questioning how this is even possible. And honestly, I can understand the frustration. For years, the U.S. government was investigating this matter, and now they're saying that nothing is there. That's honestly very sad. Thousands of children were harmed by Jeffrey Epstein and the people around him. And after nearly 17 years, the U.S. government comes out and basically says, well, there's nothing more to see here. And just think about the victims who are still in trauma due to their past and the assault done against them, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I don't think they can truly recover from it, because a hope is now lost. No government really wants to reveal much about Jeffrey Epstein. And this was very clear from the start. In 2008, during President George W. Bush time, Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida to soliciting a minor for prostitution. He served 13 months in a county jail, but shockingly, he was allowed to leave for work during the day. And sometimes, he even spent time at home. Seriously. And even the time he spent inside wasn't what you'd call punishment. His cell was left unlocked. He had access to an attorney's room with a TV, snacks, and more luxuries. It just shows how wealth, power, and connections can protect some people from true justice. Meanwhile, all laws are applied to ordinary citizens, while powerful or influential people get their way, because the system is designed and run by them. That 2008 plea deal, it was kept secret from the victims and was heavily criticized for being way too soft. All of this shows that something's just not right when it comes to how the U.S. Justice Department handled Epstein's case. There's always been this weird effort to keep things under wraps, or only reveal bits and pieces that don't say much at all. Remember earlier this year, around February, when people were seen holding binders filled with Epstein documents. It made huge headlines at the time. But guess what? We still have no clue what those documents revealed. Nothing was really shared with the public. And the timing of all this is, well, it's suspicious. Not too long ago, Elon Musk publicly accused President Trump of being connected to Epstein. And then, boom, the DOJ releases a memo saying no names, no evidence, no list, no blackmail. Now people are also raising questions about FBI Director Kash Patel, who recently did good work by revealing so many scandals and child abuse cases. But in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, his statements are also very confusing.
You know, it's the same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Before becoming FBI director, he stated that Epstein's death doesn't look like suicide. He claimed that his first case after becoming FBI director would be the Epstein case. Then, in a recent podcast, he also hinted that there were videos from the island where Jeffrey did all those sinister things. But now he's also rapidly changing his statements, and I guess he's put a complete full stop on this case. So again, I don't know what to say. Jeffrey Epstein is one of the most controversial cases in U.S. history. Epstein had close relationships with numerous high-profile figures, including Prince Andrew, 42nd U.S. President Bill Clinton, current U.S. President Donald Trump, Harvard professors, and so many Wall Street executives. These associations fueled speculation about the scope of his influence and the potential involvement of others in his crimes. Now let's talk about President Trump for a moment. He's no stranger to conspiracy theories, and people often point to his past connection with Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein and President Trump were said to be good friends. There are videos of them partying together. But as always, President Trump says that he has nothing to do with him. He says he hadn't been friendly with Epstein for nearly 18 years before his death, which I leave up to you guys if you want to believe it or not. The memo also confirms, again, that Epstein died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019, which is super weird considering he was under surveillance. The only footage we ever got was grainy, like 144p quality from a potato. Now, some lawmakers and public figures are asking for more transparency. They're saying that documents might be hidden to protect powerful people, possibly even President Trump or his associates. But at the same time, the U.S. Justice Department is standing firm. They're saying that all relevant findings have been released and that no further charges will be filed. No more arrests. No more digging. The case is closed for good. So far, only one person has been held accountable in this whole thing, Ghislaine Maxwell. She got 20 years in prison. But don't be shocked if she's released early for good behavior or some other reason. So yeah, it's depressing. It's starting to feel like the Epstein case is officially over, and that the full truth may never be known, no matter who comes into power. Unless, of course, someone inside the government leaks something. Maybe a hidden file with actual proof. But even that seems like wishful thinking at this point. So what do you think about all of this? Do you believe the U.S. government has nothing to hide? Or are they covering up something huge? Would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.